What's up, YouTube? I finished the fork upgrade. Finally. Oh, what a story it is to tell. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the progressive suspension lowering kit for the VT1100. There's a bunch of other models. It fits, but this is how it looks now. Might not be able to tell the difference, but I see a striking difference in the stance of this bike. It's awesome. It's so much lower in the front. I thought I would have to lower the rear, but it looks pretty good actually. Maybe I don't even need to. I thought it would be dipping forward more than it is, and it's not. So I had ordered the fork seals, and I was going to do the seals change, and the upper one, or I guess the right hand side one, this one here, was completely disintegrated, and I guess water had crept in there and destroyed the bushings. So when I pulled the shocks apart, so I went to change the bearings or change the seals and just decided to change the bushings because I could see that they were just gross. There was rust inside of this tube just because of the spring that was in the seal. So I got the bushing kit, waited another week for that. While I was waiting for that, I polished the lowers. Ta-da! They looked pretty bad. They were oxidized real bad. All I did was use a mixture of Simple Green and the gray Scotch-Brite pad. The gray one. I could have gone to the maroon for a silkier finish, but that's all I had. And it was already in my garage, so I don't care. And all I did is go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for 2 days. I probably spent 4 or 5 hours, just solid hours, buffing those. I took a file to it. If you know anything about these bikes, this cast aluminum, they probably use sand molds. And what I did, there's a seam on the, you can't see shit because, okay, so on the back side of the fork where the calipers are, back here, these two bungs, the seam ran down that. I filed the seam off, so it's smooth now. It's completely smooth. And I filed down the seam that was on the caliper itself, but I didn't even think about it. You can't see it at all. It's actually glossy. It's like shiny. It's shinier than this is. I don't know. But yeah, so while I was waiting for the bushings, I was reading up on how to do the shocks, and I figured that I would probably never get back into the shocks once I replaced the bushings, so I just went ahead and bought the lowering kit for it, and I'm glad I did. I think it looks awesome. I haven't even ridden it. I finished this seriously just 10 minutes ago. I finished the forks about an hour ago, ate some food, put the wheel on, put the caliper on, put the speedometer cable on, and kind of cleaned up a little bit. And this is where it is now. It has a long way to go, but man, it looks so much cooler than it used to. There's the pile of crap that came out of it, and other things. I don't remember if I already took video of it, but I installed that light. It's awesome bright. I have the exhaust back on. I put new crushed gaskets in there. I reused 2 of the old studs, and I used grade 10.9 studs on the lower side. When I took the exhaust off, both of the lower ones were not connected. They were both they both didn't work at all. It looks like I threw it away. But the lower one on the back cylinder was frozen in on the threads. So now what I did, instead of probably what the other people did, I secured it to the head first before I attached them together. All I did was use nuts and bolts. You can't see shit. But all I did was use nuts and bolts, and I didn't use the frame. You can kind of see that. they don't match up with the existing frame. I'll have to cut that off. Cut off these as well. Those brackets, because they don't look cool. I'm still missing a horn. I don't even know if I addressed it last time, but I took off the fins and the upper things. I think I've kind of decided to put them back on. It looks pretty goofy this way. I know other bikes, you can see their cam circles, like the Indian and stuff, you can see it, and I just don't think I need that. The fins look cooler, kind of hides some of it. I might even put that side cover back on once I repaint it. I think what I'm going to try to do is try to get this satin finish on everything. I don't know if I can do that to chrome. I have no idea. But if I decide to, that would take a long time because I'd have to take the side cover off and do it by hand. That would take a very long time. This is aluminum, it's really soft. That's chrome, it's steel. It'd take forever. So I had some mix-up whenever I was rebuilding the shocks. Okay, so when I took the shocks apart, the right-hand side one was, the bushing was supposed to pop out whenever the seal pops out. Whenever you use it like a slide hammer, and it didn't. It was stuck inside of the lower. So I used a hammer and a screwdriver and just tried to pry it up easily, and it didn't want to move at all. So I kind of gouged out the inside of that. Hopefully that side doesn't wear out as fast. I mean, it doesn't wear out. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully I get a while out of it. But I think probably taking that one apart and getting a new lower would be a good idea. And then new bushings, obviously, for that side. But when I was putting it back together, there's a damper rod in there. There's a damper rod at the bottom of this that has a stop, a spring. It's like a needle, like a big, huge needle. And then a cup at the bottom inside here that the needle rests in. It's an aluminum cup just to prevent the rod from wearing through the shock. And there's a screw up under the axle, like behind the axle, up through here. Whenever you take the axle out, you can put a Allen wrench thing up in there. There's a bolt in there that connects through that cup and into the damper rod. And oh man, when I put it back together, I put it back together in the wrong order. I was supposed to have, so it's supposed to go lower, like the lower whole housing, then the cup, then the top tube, then the spring, the lower spring, and then the damper rod, and then the rest of everything. And the way I had it, I had the damper rod and the cup out of this. So I had to take it all back apart just to put the cup in the bottom. But that cup is like this long. It's like 1.5 inches long. And I would have never been able to put this bike together without it. I had watched a video of like an old, probably old CBR 600 or something with the same normal forks like this. They didn't have inverted forks on it. And I was just following his instructions just step by step by step. And apparently that whole piece has like an adjustable preload and all this stuff. And it has like a middle rod that runs the length of the entire tube. And mine doesn't. And his damper rod has the cup all in one assembly with the big long rod that connects to the preload adjustment. So that's the way I put it together, and that was wrong. So stupid. It took forever to fix it. I mean, not really. It was just such a downer because I thought I was almost done. So, I mean, really, it was funny because the first time I took the forks apart, and whenever I went to put them back together, it took me like 2 hours this morning to put them back together, just to put the bushing, the large bushing, the small bushing, the washer, the seal, the clip, and the dust boot on it, on both shocks. It took like 2 hours. This time I did both of them off and both of them back together in like 15 minutes. It seriously didn't take any time at all. Probably because I used silicone spray to lubricate everything when I was putting it together, and I hadn't poured fork oil in it yet, so everything was still lubed up, so it was great. But now everything is together and torqued down, and I might go ride it. It rained, but whatever. Yeah, that's it.